In this presentation, we are going to look at integrating your Zoho CRM with your telephony system. If you have a PBX, you can integrate that with Zoho CRM. So here's the agenda for today. We're going to see why telephony is important for you. And finally, we will see that in a live demo. And we're going to show all the features that we have. Right, telephone. It's probably the most important tool for a salesperson, right? The most effective way of communicating with a customer, right? Apart from email, that is. Even, better than email, I would say. You can customize an email, or personalize an email, but it's nothing like a personal call. You talk to a person and you have a better chance of winning a deal. Wouldn't you agree? I'd say yes. Phone is a very integral part of my life. I'm on the phone all the time. Whether you're a salesperson or a support person, you probably spend a lot of time talking to your customers on the phone. But how many of you can relate to this image? While you're talking to a customer, there are several other tasks involved. Maybe if you're a salesperson, right? You make call to your customer. You're not just talking to a customer, but also trying to manage other things. Like probably you just want to look up the customer details, see if any updates, or if someone else has added any notes or comments about the conversation that happened previously. Or if you just want to pull some orders the customer just gave, right? There's several other tasks. You have to keep timer. You just have to make sure you log the call perfectly, right? If your organization tracks the duration of the call, you have to be perfect on logging the call, getting the timer in, and if you don't do that, your reporting is going to be all incorrect. You don't have the perfect report of the duration of the call. So basically, the point is there are several other things you are thinking about when you're on a call. So I believe that when you're on a call, you just think about what you're going to talk to the customer and getting the deal done, closing the deal. Wouldn't it be nice if you were this guy? Wouldn't it be nice if someone just dialed the number for you and say, hey, here's the customer online for you? Wouldn't it be nice if someone just pull up all the details about the customer and say, here's the call notes of the previous call, somebody just spoke to him, and here's some notes, or here are other details like the past orders or potentials already closed by this particular customer, right? It would be awesome if people just did stuff for you, all these things, while you're just talking to the customer, right? There are two ways of doing this. One, you can just hire a bunch of personal assistants and have them all do this work for you. Or you can integrate your Zoho CRM with your telephony system and let the integration do all this for you. So here's a typical CRM contact page. So I have a contact, Jasmine Frank. So without the telephony integration, I'm just looking for my phone, dialing the number, and logging the call, all this. Once you integrate, you see that little green button there, call button. This will be activated, and all you do is click on that button, and the call gets initiated from the browser. And you can just log the call. You can look up all the details. You can browse through the past calls, any notes you have. If you want to look up some additional information about any orders or any other details, you can just browse through, and this screen, the call log screen, will stay here for you to just add the call details. All you have to do is log the call. The timer will start automatically once you're in the call. So we're going to just look at a demo, and in this demo, we're going to see how you configure your telephony provider with your Zoho CRM account, and I'll also show you how it works. So we have your CRM, and before you integrate, you might be using various providers. I'm just going to pick the most popular telephone provider, which is Twilio. All you have to do is buy a number from Twilio, and then you will have this login. So once you set up your account, you just log into your Twilio account, and the first thing you'll see is this page. Now, I'm just going to add this Twilio number to my Zoho CRM account. So we just make this a little bigger. Setup, other apps, phone bridge. There, just select the drop down. Twilio, just copy this account ID and put it here. Your auth token. That's it. So the next thing you do is add the number. So this is my Twilio number that I purchased. Add the number. This is receiving calls. This is incoming. You're basically telling the system, hey, this is my Twilio account, what we just did, and then you're telling the system, this is my Twilio phone number, and this person is the one who is going to attend the calls, right? You might have several users in your Zoho CRM account. Not all of them might need this telephony integration, right? Probably someone in the accounting, right, or a different department who are not going to be receiving calls directly from customer. If you enable this integration for them as well, it's going to pop up for them, right? You might not want to do that. Just enable it for the people who are going to be on calls. You can just tell the system, these are the users who need to receive calls within CRM. So that's what I'm doing. I'm saying this person is the only guy who is going to attend calls when I receive a call. So that's done. And similarly, outgoing. So basically now we are telling who is going to be making calls from CRM. So I've just told the system that these are the guys who are going to be receiving calls. Now I'm telling the system these are the guys who are going to be making calls from CRM. So just pick me. And that's all. There is no more configuration. There is no coding, nothing at all. All you do is get the auth token in the account ID, configure your account, and add the number. Tell the system who are the users who are going to be managing the calls. That's it. Once you enable the telephone integration, you will see this call button enabled. So I have a contact here in my Zoho CRM. See, that's a hot prospect. I'd like to call this person and see, if he's ready to purchase, because I'd like to close this deal. He's a hot prospect. So all I have to do is mouse over, click to call. That's it. I end the call. All I have to say is send the order. If you want to add more details, you just add it. And as you can see, you can also set up a follow-up, right? I can set a reminder for myself to call this customer later. or I could just set up a task. So that's option, right? You can skip that if you don't want that. So I'll just add the call description, save that. So once you save it, that should be under the close activities. There you go. So outgoing call. Ah, they just called me. Hey man, Tejas. Yeah, it's coming up. So I'm trying to be in the middle. I'm kind of in the middle of a presentation. So if you could just give me a couple of minutes, it's on your way. Probably your mail is getting delayed, but it's on your way. Yeah. No problem at all. No problem at all. So just to confirm, we kind of agreed upon a 50% discount. Is that right? I'm just talking to my accounting team, and I want to be sure. So, okay, awesome. So you should be getting that any moment now. Just a few minutes, and you'll get it. I know you are. So we'll get this done, right? Right away. Thank you. So you see what happened? I just made a call to the customer and added the notes. You also saw what happened when you get a call, right? I just got the call from the customer and the system tells me who's calling. And I can get the relevant information. I know this call is important. That person just spoke to me. I can look at the notes right there. And you don't have to worry about searching. So how many times has this happened? Customer calls, and you don't know who he is. You ask your number. It happens all the time in support. We get calls. We spend a lot of time getting the name right, the email address especially, asking them to forget all that. Call just comes, and the system tells you who that person is, what his email address is, all the notes, everything you have is right there. If you also have a potential for that particular customer, that information will be listed right there. So this might happen sometimes. You're in the middle of something very important, and some annoying guys like these unknown callers might call. So you can either jump into that call if you have nothing else to do, or you can just ignore that, right? Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So the system is not going to leave this unknown customer go. What it will basically do is send this person to a voicemail, right? And you can configure the message as well. You can configure the welcome message, the voicemail message, and then this person will get an option to leave a voicemail. And where does the voicemail go? To your phone, to your Twilio, any guesses? CRM, yes. So this voicemail will automatically go into your CRM, right? You don't have to worry about checking your Twilio login or checking your phone records to find out the voicemail. It's right there. If you miss a call from a customer or unknown person, if they go into a voicemail, they can record a message, and that comes right into Zoho CRM. If you go into the activities section, but as you can see, this list, this is just the activities list where you can see all the incoming calls that you received, outgoing calls, the missed calls, and if there is a voice message, it will be listed here. Yep. So as you can see, there's a difference. This is also a missed call, but there's no message. And if you go into this one, you can see a play button. The difference is this person called me, I didn't pick, and he didn't leave a message, right? So that's why you don't see the play button there. This person actually did leave a message, so I'm just going to play it. Yeah. So that's the basic idea of how the phone integration works. Right there in your CRM, don't have to worry about dialing numbers, taking notes, keeping the duration of the call. All that is done automatically. You just click to call and just go on adding notes. If you want to receive calls, you can just answer them. And let's assume you're working on something else and you don't want all these calls, coming to you. If you want to just route them, to your voicemail directly, you do have an option. So this icon will be activated once you enable the telephony integration for your account. As you can see, there will be two options, online and offline. So only when you're online, you will receive calls within CRM. If you set it as offline, then calls will directly go into a voicemail. It won't ring for you. If the customer calls this number, then they will be directed to the voicemail directly. You can listen to the voicemails, and when you're available, you can change that. Make sure you switch it to online when you're available. Right? So that's some basic stuff. So initially in the configuration stuff part, we just saw how to add numbers and tell the system who is going to be attending calls. We can go further. You can add IVR options, right? So right now I'm just a one-person company. I just want all the calls to come to me. I don't want any IVR options. If people call, I answer. That's it. For larger corporations or organizations, if you have different departments and if you have a support number or a sales number like us, so how many of you have called sales or support for Zoho products? So you know the IVR options, right? So you call and you'll be given an option to choose the product or the sales department, the payments department, different options, right? So this, again, can be done within this setup. It's not that difficult. To show you, so this is the number we've just added, right? So previously I just said, if this is the number, associate this user, right? This is the person, only person when you get the call. You see, you have configure IVR menu. So once you do this, let's just say for menu, right? So if 1 is pressed, I want the call to go to Janet. And if option 2 is selected, I want it to go to Deborah. So you can go on. So based on the number of users you have, you can just set it up in a way so that when people call, they will be given an option to choose a number. And based on the number they choose, the call will be routed to the right person. You can also see, you can add a welcome message. You can just say, welcome to Zoho, or your company name, or any welcome message that you want to set up. The IVR setup menu, just say, kindly press 1 for Janet, kindly press 2 for Deborah. So you can customize that. Let's go into advanced options. So call recording. So I've enabled this for this account. So all calls that I make will be recorded automatically and will be saved in the system. If you don't want that, you can just say no. And a couple of other options like the user is busy or unavailable. The difference is, if I'm available, that is, if I mark as online, that means I'm ready for the call. But if I'm already on another call, that means I'm busy. So the person will get a message which is this. So you can just type the text and our friend Siri will talk that to the customer. Tell the customer that the user is currently on another call and you can just leave a message or call back later. Similarly, you can set a message for moments like when you don't want to call. That is, when you mark it as unavailable, right? You don't really want to be on the call. You just mark it unavailable, and the system will say you're not available. You can also use this for vacations. If you're on a vacation, you can just say, hey, I'm on a vacation. I'm going to be back on this particular date. You can just leave a message. So all this configuration can be done within Zoho CRM. You don't have to go to your phone system, your Twilio login, anything at all. You can configure this all within Zoho CRM. So that's about the Twilio configuration. So like I said, we are adding more and more providers to this integration, Twilio being our most popular service provider. And that's the session.